Hello everyone, welcome to Mind Maps. In this video lecture, we are discussing detectors in gas chromatography. So let's start. Okay, what is detector? First we'll go through definition. A detector is a device that is located at the end of the column. Column means the end of the gas chromatographic column, which provides a quantitative measurement of the component of the mixture. Okay, किसी भी मिक्सचर के कंपोनेंट्स को एनालाइट को डिटेक्ट करता है क्वालिटेटिवली या क्वांटिटेटिवली, मतलब अमाउंट भी मेजर करता है और उनकी प्रेजेंस भी डिटेक्ट करता है. तो इसलिए हम इट इज़ प्रिटी मच सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन टू प्रॉपर्टीज. ओके, there are two properties on which it depends. Okay, measurement of components, there are two properties on which it depends. These properties are bulk and specific. Okay, so what happens in bulk? Okay, the carrier gas which carries the sample, it has a certain property and the analyte has a certain property. So bulk properties can differ. Okay, both of them can differ. So we detect that. For example, they might have different conductivities, resistance, something like that. Okay, so we detect the difference in the properties, and that's how we detect. And there are certain specific detectors that detect specific properties such as presence of electronegative atoms, certain chemical structures. Okay, and these detectors have transducers. Okay, they convert one from a signal to the other. For example, they might have an electronic signal and they convert it into a graphical form in which we can understand. Now, an ideal detector. What are the properties of ideal detector? It is very sensitive. Okay, it has a good resolution. For example, if you keep on decreasing the sample size छोटा करते जाओगे तो एक पॉइंट ऐसा आएगा कि सैम्पल ही नहीं बचेगा, मतलब सैम्पल टर्न्स ऑलमोस्ट जीरो. In that case, the detection will become infinite. So that is not practical, right? So, but reasonably, it should be able to detect a smaller sample size. Okay, so that's about resolution. Now, an ideal detector should have a good reproducibility. That means it can replicate the result. एक result आया, when you run the sample again under the same condition, you should get the same result. The third property is it should be chemically inert. Okay, it should not participate in the reaction, or there should be some change in chemical structure or anything. So it should be chemically inert. It should not react with the reactants or the sample already present or that are being introduced. It should be pretty stable. Okay, बहुत stable होना चाहिए. Temperature range is -200 to 400 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's a huge temperature range of 600 degrees Celsius, because gas chromatography can take place at very low temperatures to very high temperatures, right? And it should have a short linear response. What does this mean? When you introduce a sample, you have a certain flow rate. जब sample introduce करते हैं, जैसे for example 5 drops per minute, okay, or 5 ml per minute or 1 ml per minute, that flow is constant. Okay, so it should produce a short linear response. Okay, that goes with the properties or some sort of equation it satisfies. Okay, it should not have any other kind of response, because the detection becomes very difficult at that point. It should be reliable, predictable, and easy to operate, right? Now, some of the detectors can be classified into many categories. One of them is universal, okay, or non-universal or specific, right? So we have thermal conductivity detector. That is a universal detector. That means it can detect all kinds of sample. You can run any kind of sample. And again, we have mass spectrometer. Okay, the first one. So this one also is tunable for any sample. That means it's a universal detector, right? Then we have flame ionization, that is for hydrocarbons, electron capture device for halogenated hydrocarbons, and you can see the detection limits, right? Okay, detection limit means resolution. Okay, then we have photoionization, chemiluminescence, atomic emission. Okay, all these. So let us discuss these one by one. The first one is mass spectrometer. So what does a mass spectrometer do? Okay, it scans the masses. Okay, as the name suggests, it is self-explanatory. Mass को continuously स्कैन करता है, क्या करता है, सैंपल को आयनाइज करता है. इट आयनाइजेस द सैंपल एंड इट इज फ्रैगमेंटेड. ओके, इट इज ब्रोकन डाउन. सैंपल पहले आयनाइज होता है और टूटता है, फ्रैगमेंट्स में टूट जाता है छोटे छोटे. कैसे? बाय एन इलेक्ट्रॉन आयन सोर्स. okay, it is sample is bombarded with an electron ion source or a stream of electrons, due to which it is ionized and fragmented. These ions are passed into a mass analyzer where we measure the m by z ratio. Okay, mass upon charge ratio, and we plot a graph, right? So any radical or cation or anion, it has a mass and it has a charge, so we calculate the m by z value and plot it against. So what we can do is, when we have an unknown sample, we can predict its structure, its mass. Okay, and this chromatogram will point out the retention times and the mass spectrum. Okay, so there is a time axis also, right? And use of peaks. Okay, these are the peaks, right? This is peaks. We can use the peaks to determine the type of molecules that exist in the mixture, right? And we have a flow chart. Okay, there is an inlet, sample introduction, then there is a source of electrons, analyzer. Okay, this is all kept in a vacuum chamber, ion detector and data system, and then finally a mass spectrum is generated, right? So let's go to the next one. This is flame ionization detector. Okay, as the name suggests, there is a flame. So what is a flame? Flame actually consists of hydrogen. Okay, there is a air hydrogen flame. That means air means O2. Okay, oxygen. This is a flame. So when sample is introduced in this, okay, obviously this flame has a very high temperature. इसका temperature बहुत high होता है. Okay, तो सैंपल क्या होता है, इट अंडरगोज पायरोलाइसिस. ओके, पायरोलाइसिस और केमिकल ब्रेक डाउन थ्रू इंटेंस हीटिंग. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटेंस हीट, बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म होगा, बहुत ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर हाई होगा, तो क्या होगा, सैंपल ब्रेक डाउन हो जाएगा. और ये जो टूटे हुए हाइड्रोकार्बन है या फिर जो पायरोलाइज्ड हाइड्रोकार्बन है, दे रिलीज आयंस एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. ओके, एंड दे कैरी करंट. अब इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिलीज हो रहे हैं तो दैट गिव्स राइज टू एन इलेक्ट्रिक करंट, right? And this is being measured. Okay, what happens when sample is introduced due to a very high heat because of the oxygen hydrogen flame? It breaks down, it produces ions and electrons, and these ions and electrons have a certain current, and that is measured. So it is advantageous to use FID because the detector is unaffected by flow rate, right? It should have a linear flow rate, linear graph. What did we discuss previously? Let me just go back. What was that? Short linear response, right? And it should not be affected by flow rate, so that is one advantage, right? So it has a very high sensitivity. This has a very high sensitivity. Okay, and it has a low noise. Okay, what is noise? Actually it is an unwanted signal. Noise क्या, एक unwanted signal जो कि हमें ग्राफ में कभी कभी मिल जाता है ड्यू टू इम्प्योरिटी और समथिंग, बट इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. एंड इट इज़ वेरी रिलायबल, बहुत रिलायबल, ईजी है, ईजी टू यूज़. बस इसमें रिक्वायर्स फ्लेमेबल गैस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाइड्रोजन. ओके, हाइड्रोजन इज़ अ very dangerous gas. Okay, you have to burn this, so it is kind of a bit dangerous, we can say, right? Danger hydrogen gas. So that way you can remember. So this is the schematic diagram. As I told you, we won't be going much into construction because it is always better to actually work on the instrument and figure out what it is made up of, then just look through the picture. We are discussing all the basics, so I'll just go through it briefly. There is a hydrogen flame, right? Hydrogen is injected. There is air, okay, because it burns in oxygen. Collector assembly. Okay, these ions go back to collector holder, right? All this setup. Now the next one is thermal conductivity detector. Okay, now we have a carrier gas, I'm writing with the highlighter, I'm sorry. Carrier gas and one is analyte. So obviously when there is only carrier gas, जब सिर्फ और सिर्फ carrier gas होगी तो क्या होगा, उसकी conductivity कुछ और होगी, और उसके साथ अगर एनालाइट भी ऐड होगा, मिक्सचर ऐड होगा, तो उसकी अंडर कंडक्टिविटी कुछ और होगी. तो वी जस्ट मेजर दिस डिफरेंस. ओके, सो ऑल दिस टेक्स्ट you can read. Let us just go through it quickly. Right, the design consider electrically heated source that is maintained at a constant power. Okay, temperature of source depends on thermal conductivities of the surrounding gases. Okay, source is usually a thin wire. It is made up of platinum. Right, so this detects the thermal conductivity. There is a wire, and there are two detectors, one which is used as reference. Okay, one for reference or carrier gas, and other monitors the thermal conductivity of the mixture. Right, so even a small amount of sample, when it is additionally added to the carrier gas, it can easily detect. Now TCDs are easy, simple to use, have broad application. Okay, we discussed this as a universal detector, right? Universal बताया था, ऑर्गेनिक इनऑर्गेनिक सब डिटेक्ट कर लेता है, एनालाइट को भी कलेक्ट कर लेता है आफ्टर सेपरेशन एंड डिटेक्शन. ओके, द ग्रेटेस्ट ड्रॉबैक ऑफ TCD is low sensitivity of the instrument in relation to other detection method. Okay, so there are better instruments that are available. Okay, better instrument than this, that is the main advantage, but still we are using this because it is a universal detector and easy to use. So we need a certain set of properties that we can work with. Okay, that's the whole point of doing a detection or an analysis. So this is a conductivity detection cell, right? This is the heated wire. Okay, there's a flow in. Okay, it goes through this, the wire detects the conductivity and it flows out, something like that. And this is the standard graph. Right, these are the peaks that are measured. For hydrogen, see, the curve is almost flat with respect to hydrogen. These oxygen, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, methane. Okay, these have different peaks, so these can be detected. Right, the next one is electron capture device. So what happens in this is, अगर सिंपल चीज़ों में, अगर सिंपल लैंग्वेज में बोला जाए तो इलेक्ट्रॉन कैप्चर डिवाइस में क्या होता है, कोई हैलोजन जैसे कंपाउंड है, इट हैज़ अ टेंडेंसी टू एक्सेप्ट एन इलेक्ट्रॉन बिकॉज इट इज़ इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव. सो बिकॉज इट एक्सेप्ट्स इलेक्ट्रॉन, देयर इज अ चेंज इन द करंट. ओके, सो what is actually happen, let us just go through the text. This detects specific organic compounds, okay, such as halogen, quinine, peroxide, nitro groups. Okay, so this is used in pesticide detection, okay, present in pollution control, all that. So we have a radioactive source emitter. Why? Because we need electrons. Electrons चाहिए तो बीटा रे चाहिए होगी, तो इलेक्ट्रॉन चाहिए, तो इलेक्ट्रॉन कहाँ से मिलेगा, एक रेडियो एमिटर से मिलेगा. That consists of nickel 63, okay, or tritium. It is a isotope of hydrogen. Okay, so when electrons are ejected from these sources, okay, they ionize the nitrogen gas and cause the release of electrons. So what happens in the absence of अगर कोई कंपाउंड एनालाइट नहीं है तो करंट क्या होगा, कांस्टेंट. करंट क्या होगा, कांस्टेंट. अगर कुछ भी नहीं है तो करंट एक कांस्टेंट वैल्यू पे रहेगा. लेकिन जैसे ही हमने सैंपल इंट्रोड्यूस किया, उसमें शायद हैलोजन या कुछ हो, वो इलेक्ट्रॉन को ले लेगा. ठीक है, तो करंट किसकी वजह से होता है, फ्लो ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन की वजह से. जब इलेक्ट्रॉन कम हो जाएंगे तो करंट क्या होगा, ऑटोमेटिकली कम हो जाएगा. सो दैट इज द होल पॉइंट. ओके, इट कैप्चर्स द इलेक्ट्रॉन, so there are less electrons and there is a reduction in the current. Okay, these are highly sensitive, right, or for certain organic species and functional groups. However, it has limited signal range and potential dangerous due to radioactivity. Okay, in the previous slide in which we have the carrier gas or the flame ionization, we have a hydrogen gas because it is a combustible gas. Okay, it is explosive, so it is dangerous. And in this case, because of the presence of radioactive elements, this is okay, dangerous. And it has a low signal to noise ratio, so that is there. So let's go to the next slide. There is a column from GC, right? And from GC we have the introduction of sample, and there is a radioactive emitter. So these supplies electrons. Okay, so when it supplies electron, what happens? It absorbs electron, there is a reduction in current, okay, and this goes to the waste. So this is the simple diagram. Now atomic emission detector. Atomic emission detectors are one of the newest addition to the gas chromatographer's arsenal. मतलब हथियार, एक बहुत अच्छा गैस क्रोमेटोग्राफर है अगर कोई, तो उसके हथियार में से एक है कोई नया, ठीक है. तो एलिमेंट सेंसिटिव, these are for specific elements that can utilize plasma. Okay, there is a fourth form of matter, solid, liquid, gas. We have plasma, so it involves creation of plasma, and this plasma can be created in many ways. In microwave, okay, in microwave, inductively coupled, or direct current plasma, because of current or magnetic fields or whatever, we create plasma. And the microwave induced plasma, it is the most common. Okay, so what happens, it ionizes the sample at an atomic level, atomic emission detector, right? So this was a small topic. Actually it's a very big topic, but we'll just keep it brief. Okay, plasma, it is a ionized gas to atomize all of the elements of the sample and excite their characteristic atomic emission spectra. Okay, it excites all the atoms. Now chemiluminescence detector, what is that? It gives both qualitative and quantitative, it gives both qualitative and quantitative properties. These can be determined using optical emission from an excited chemical species. It is very similar to AES. So what happens in chemiluminescence? Do you know? You have to just go through the Jablonski diagram to understand this. The basic what happens in chemiluminescence. Okay, so there are certain molecules that are, they absorb energy, they get excited to a certain level, and then they release this energy in form of light, okay, or in form of chemiluminescence. So by this we detect them by this property. This can occur in solution or the gas phase, but the AES is designed only for gaseous phase. The light source for chemiluminescence comes from the reactions of the chemicals such that that produces light energy as a product. Okay, light is detected instead of current or anything else, but chemiluminescence has its limitations too. Major limitation is use of photomultiplier tube. Okay, what happens in photomultiplier tube? There are certain cathodes. When an electron strikes a certain cathode, okay, it produces an electron, another ejects another electron, and gets accelerated. So that's photomultiplier tube for you, and it requires a dark current. You cannot have any kind of light in this. Okay, so you cannot use the photomultiplier tube. What is a photomultiplier tube? क्या होता है? कोई भी सिग्नल अगर बहुत कम है, कोई सिग्नल, तो वो उसको एम्पलीफाई करता है, ठीक है, मैनी टाइम्स, मैनी फुल, 10 टाइम्स, 20 टाइम्स उसको एम्पलीफाई करता है ताकि हम उसे रीड कर सकें, राइट? सो दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद दिस. Let's go to the next one, photo ionization detector. This is a different kind of detector for GC, is photo ionization detector, which utilizes the properties of chemiluminescence photoscopy. Okay, so we have a portable vapor and gas that has selective determination of aromatic hydrocarbons. This detects aromatic hydrocarbon or heteroatoms, inorganic species, and other organic compounds. Okay, PID comprise of ultraviolet lamp to emit photons that are absorbed by compounds, and an ionization chamber exiting from a GC column. Small fractions of analyte molecules are ionized, non-destructive, allowing confirmation of analytical result through other devices. So UV lamp, it it gives out photons, it is absorbed by compounds, and there is the certain energy transformations. Okay, so that is photoionization. Why? Because photons are responsible for ionization here, right? It is used in soil, sediment, air. Okay, you can just go through the text for this. There is certain disadvantage that it cannot detect hydrocarbons with low molecular weight such as methane, ethane. Otherwise it is good to go, right? We have a compound, we have a UV lamp that emits a photons. Okay, these photons are absorbed by what? Photon is a quant of energy. Okay, it has a quant of energy, that is some amount of energy that is being absorbed by the sample. So there are certain energy transformations that are taking place, and we detect those. And this is a silly attempt to make you understand. Okay, UV lamp, this is a diagram, power supply, housing, because the whole thing has to be isolated, insulated, right? There's a UV lamp, GC column. Okay, the entry is from this side. Okay, and it connects to another detector. There is ionization chamber in which this will produce photons. UV lamp will produce photons, sample will absorb, and there's electrometer that detects the change in current or whatever property, and there's a computer. Okay, so I think that's it for today's lecture. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.